So back in college, my one friend and I decided to start a campaign called I'm Bringing Henna Back. We wanted more people to use the co-region term. We didn't get much traction. Now it's 2017 and enter Chicago Cubs manager Joe Maddon, and he can get stuff done. But he's bringing Henna back not for his own amusement, but to also help the community. The message here is pretty clear. Henna? Okay, maybe not, but Joe and Jay Maddon's message and mission lies in this t-shirt. First, let's start with the logo that's actually above the popular co-region phrase for the Maddon's Respect 90 Foundation.
Respect 90, the phrase means the distance between home plate and first base, and also that respect begins at home. The only rule I have among my players is that I want them to run hard to first base, so respect 90.
So that's where the name comes from, but the story actually starts back in the early 2000s when Joe was a bench coach for the Los Angeles Angels and was dating Jay.
Why get involved? I was motivated. Actually, Jay, my wife, standing right back here right now, she was really pushing, we weren't even married yet, for me to get more involved in a charitable sense. So when I was in California with the Angels, I would, I've talked about this several times, but I would ride my bike up and down the PCH area, and I see a lot of homeless people pushing their shopping carts up and down. And I thought, given the opportunity to make an impact, I would try to do that someday. So the opportunity showed up, and then obviously there's a big need.
The Respect 90 Foundation is growing. Right now they help families in Chicago, Tampa, Mesa, Arizona, and right here in Hazleton. There's plans to help other communities as well, but it all started in California.
We would gather up his old sweaters and my old clothes, and because there's men and women, and we'd take him down to the beach, and he would just hand them out. He would talk to them, and so that's kind of where the idea began.
Once Joe was hired as the Tampa Bay Rays manager in 2006, a new tradition was born, the Thanksmas meal for those in need, and it featured some of Joe's favorite dishes, including spaghetti and meatballs. Joe took off his Rays hat and put on a chef's hat for the event and wound up on the DL.
It was in St. Petersburg somewhere, and it was this little shelter, and he ended up burning his foot really bad because he was dumping the boiling water for the pasta into the colander, and it just flipped out of the sink and right onto his foot. So yeah, he had.
Joe moved on to manage the Chicago Cubs, and we can assume the foot is okay because he was standing for most, if not all, of the 10 innings against the Indians in Game 7 of the World Series in 2016. It all starts at home for the Respect 90 Foundation, and so every year around Christmas you'll find Joe and Jay back in his hometown of Hazleton. While some of the events have changed during the Maddon's visits, there's been one constant: the Thanksmas meal. It's held in the basement of the Hazleton One Community Center, a former Catholic school in the city.
This kind of a cafeteria in the bottom of a Catholic school in Hazleton. You know how many years this has been going on, stuff like this? My grandpa, when he turned 100 years ago, a great-grandpa, excuse me, they had an event like this in the basement of Our Lady of Grace Church, which was a hall at that point. So I was thinking about that standing up there. Again, trying to tie the past to the present, and where the people sometimes don't quite understand this, it's no different. And I recently read that nostalgia is the most powerful drug of all, and I'm really starting to believe that because I'm really caught up in it. So once again, really come out here and see what we're doing, meet the kids, meet the faculty here, and I promise you're going to come away a supporter.
And so we come back to this year's Respect 90 t-shirt and henna. According to ColeSpeak.com, henna is a request for affirmation, like saying, "Isn't that right?" The word really goes back in Hazleton, but notice the Spanish punctuation on the t-shirt used to recognize the growing Hispanic population in the coal region. It's more of the old culture blending with the new. Everything comes back in style, even old phrases. Henna? The Maddons seem to treasure that, and through their foundation they're trying to make sure that values like sharing and respect always stay part of the popular culture.
Jay and I show up, Rick Vaughn, our director, shows up, and we get a lot of credit for this, but believe me, it's the folks that show up every day that deserve the credit. When we come into towns like this, when we come home, we go to the Pinellas Hope Project in Tampa, or the Salvation Armies, or whatever, and you walk in and you see the people that do this every day, twice a day, maybe lunch and dinner, you know, whether it's serving food, mopping floors, whatever, to serve these folks down there. Those are the real heroes, man.
If you want to be a hero and volunteer, get in touch with the Hazleton Integration Project at 570-861-8081. These amazing Henna Hazelton Way t-shirts are available right here in downtown Hazelton at the shop too, and all proceeds go to the Respect 90 Foundation. Yes, I am wearing it backwards.